The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 23rd day of August, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. I've got this cough, right, folks? So forgive me. I had this cough. I wrote my doctor. Remember, I had a cold like week before last or last week. I can't remember. I don't keep that in my calendar. But I had this cold, and every time I have a cold, which hasn't happened often, I have this lingering cough afterwards, and it's always a dry cough. So I wrote to my doctor in our portal yesterday. I said, "Look, I need something because it's that same thing that happens all the time. It's bothering me." And she suggested something. But you know how people are with coughs, like since the pandemic. You cough, and people like run the other way, like it's like a cough's gone. Punch him in the face or something. So I feel like I've been an outcast because of my cough lately, just scaring people in public and in the office. So I'm trying to get this under control. So right now, if you hear me, I'm trying to suck on a cough drop to help me out a bit. So forgive me if I sound a little out of sorts, but you know, what do you all do to like as remedies for a cough? Like, what do? Do you like have some concoction you put together? I know, old grandmothers used to put like raw onions and turmeric and ginger and lemon and leave it in a jar for like 5 years and stuff. Do you all still do stuff like that? I mean, that was something that I saw on the internet, actually. I can't say my nana actually did that. But anyway, help me get through this cough. Good morning to you, brother, cousin Mark, and to the TDH family, he says. I need a concoction. Help me out. A brother needs some help with his cough, but Sean DeShio says honey and lemon mix. All right, so I need to get me some more honey. Every time I see honey in the grocery store now, it says organic, and I don't know if that's in the budget, but I'll check it out. I'll try to see some brothers on the side, because here in Florida, you have a lot of people on the side of the street that sell their own honey and stuff. So I need that original, like natural honey. I don't need the CBD in it because I'm trying to fix one problem, not help with another, if you get what I'm saying. Black rum and lemon juice had lean. Were you trying to give me hiccups? Black rum. Oh, my. I'll think about it. Karen Simmons, good morning to the H. Jamal. Try a hot toddy, lemon, and honey and lemon mix. Okay. And Sam Cat Place says a shot of apple cider vinegar, honey, and lemon. So it seems like honey and lemon is the norm. So am I like taking an actual lemon and squeezing it in and like some drops of honey, or am I using lemon juice? Sherry Vanderpool says shark oils and honey. Shark oils? Shark's oil? I thought shark's oil was only of use for hurricanes, letting us know when a hurricane was coming. Maybe that's another slow moment like yesterday when I didn't know women couldn't have bank accounts. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just try it. You're trying to get me hot. Come on, Hadley. It's just saying just try the rum. So squeeze it in. Squeeze the honey in. Says, okay, and I'm using fresh lemons. Cheryl's trying to kill me. We all know, she's just trying to take me out with that shark oil and lemon. Ebony Susan says, go swim and sniff. Get into the nasal passage and swallow some salt water. I don't know if Ebony Susan's been in the water here in Florida. They got people dying out there from some brain eating or something. I don't know. You all are seeing the news. I'm not. Look, they call Bermudians beach snobs. If you've seen a beach in Florida, you'll understand why. I'm not getting in there. And this has nothing to do with the sharks this time. Nothing to do with the sharks. Sherry Vanderpool says, my grandmother gave it to us and swore by, okay, we'll trust grandmother. Sherry's not trying to kill me. We'll trust grandmother. And Sherry's still here to be a thorn in my side. Anyway, folks, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome entrepreneur Vladmir Focke on. We're discussing the growth of his product. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation, especially because I think what he's doing is so unique. We've had many people on this show to do with beauty products, but they've all been women. This is something that I absolutely love, that a man is leading in a space where, you know, it's almost, as the title says of the show, the beauty of entrepreneurship, right? So looking forward to the conversation with him. And the Daily Play is music today. So obviously, Sherry didn't show up, Larry didn't show up, Sancha didn't show up, Maya ain't show up. So that means you all get a prize for the Daily Play. So it's music today. Whoever gets the answer first wins a prize from me, all right? So stick with us for that. And do me a favor, if you haven't already, subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on and help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. Question of the morning is basically, there was an article in the Royal Gazette. Story says retail slump continues as sales volumes keep falling. Well, retail sales continue to fall in April, the 9th time they have been down in the past year, and remain far below pre-pandemic levels in most categories. According to statistics released by the Ministry of Economy and Labor, the retail sales index, which tracks the percentage change of retail sales by volume year on year, decreased 4.1% compared with April 2022. The rate was calculated adjusting the retail inflation, which was 5.4% in April. Retail sales during the month were an estimated 98.3 million, up 1.1% on the year. Declines were reported in 4 of 7 retail categories in terms of sales volume. Declines in sales value were reported in 3. Now, sales volumes for clothing stores increased 11.1% in April compared with the same month last year, but the volume is still 24% lower than 2019. 24%. That's huge. 9% lower in 2019 than for service station sales. And then food stores fell by 7.8%, but the sales value was up 3.4%. Now, if you understand that sales value just means things cost more. It doesn't mean, that let's just keep things in context, which was surprising. Liquor store sales volume decreased by 6.2% on year, and that was 5.1% lower than 2019. Now, I'm not joking here, but when liquor sales decrease, things are bad. Things are bad. I'm being dead serious. Now, the question of the morning, and we had it on our Instagram as well, is what's the solution to Bermuda's retail slump? What do you believe the solution is to Bermuda's retail slump? What's the solution? And we had it on our Instagram. And I'll go to the Instagram, but what's the solution to it? Maya said something interesting before we came on, and I hadn't considered this directly into the combo, but there are a lot of people that have left Bermuda. These people are the same people who would go to service stations. They would go to the grocery store. I still believe Bermudians would shop locally for clothes if they needed to. With more people leaving, and it's interesting, we're talking about statistics shared. We honestly don't have an actual number of how many people have left, but with more people leaving, I just spoke to a couple who moved to Florida from Bermuda via private message yesterday and was shocked they left. They had a business in Bermuda and they left. And I was surprised. A lot of people are leaving without announcement. But how is this impacting retail in Bermuda. So what's the solution to the Bermuda retail slump? Well, let's go to Instagram and share some of the things that people were saying on our IG stories. And you all really thought about this, because some of the responses, my word. All right, so you put like 10 responses. Gee. So the question, what's your solution to slumping retail sales in Bermuda? And again, we just read from the Royal Gazette, and the title on the Royal Gazette is that retail slump continues as sales volumes keep falling. And I think it says 9 of the past 12 months, Bermuda has seen a dip. All right, so one person says more tax benefits for local businesses will help deal with the retail slump. More tax benefits for local businesses. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Another person says use a portion of the corporate tax to lower importation fees. Okay. Someone else says more help for the small businesses to grow. Well, I'm interested when people say this. Who are you looking for help from? Are you looking for like financial help? Are you looking for like the government to say, okay, we're not going to charge you this or that? Like what kind of help are you looking for? Someone said better options. I think when I see this, I think people are thinking one way, thinking clothing, like stuff you get on Amazon, but retail, it's so much more. Let's use liquor and alcohol. Liquor and alcohol was included in those numbers. I said liquor sales had dropped, right? Well, I'm not quite sure Bermuda suffers for options when it comes to liquor and alcohol. So what do we mean when we say better options? What's your solution to slumping retail sales in Bermuda? Someone says more boutique, less department stores. Audience, let me know, but isn't the only department store we have in Bermuda Gibbons? What's another? There's no more Trimmingham's or Smith's. Would Brown & Co. be considered a department store? I don't know. That's an interesting one. More boutique, less department stores. Interesting. Someone said train staff, promote staff, and pay them with the promotion. So that's a solution to retail sales in Bermuda. Train the staff, promote staff, and pay them with the promotion. Okay. Guess I have to be in the space to understand that. Another person says buyers who actually care about fashion, trends, and style. Again, I think when we hear retail, we only think clothing. Retail is so much more than what we put on ourselves. But someone says buyers who actually care about fashion, trends, and style. I think we got to understand volume as well. And I said it on this show previously. No store in Bermuda can do what a Walmart or Target does. When I say that, they have volume. So Target has thousands of locations across just North America, right? Walmart the same. They can purchase 1 million shirts of the same size, same color for 2 cents. Bermuda doesn't have that volume. A store in Bermuda might have to pay $5 for that same shirt they're getting for 2 cents because they have less volume. So that's understanding right there what it kind of, the cost of doing business in Bermuda. What's the solution to slumping retail sales in Bermuda? What's your solution to slumping retail in Bermuda? Someone else says, people can't shop if they're just trying to survive. Interesting. Rent, food, utilities. Well, food is actually part of retail, at least in these reports. So what's your solution to slumping retail sales in Bermuda? Someone said people can't shop if they're just trying to survive with rent, food, and utilities. Another says the shipping costs need to be in Bermuda's control. Shipping costs need to be in Bermuda's control. Another person says quality products and better options, better customer service, tax-free reductions, solution-based training. So quality products, better options, better customer service, tax-free reductions, solution-based training. And another person says more stores should have websites so you can shop online. It's more convenient. So those are all the responses we have so far on our Instagram page. It's interesting because I think the focus when we're talking about slump in retail sales is on clothing. I think as we read from the Royal Gazette, it's so much more. But what's your solution? Because this is hard. This impacts us all greatly. It impacts us all greatly because, as we know, the more money that gets spent outside of the economy, the more it hurts each and every one of us. So what's your solution to Bermuda's retail slump? What do you think we can do? What do you think the government can do? What do you think the retailers can do to help solve this problem that we have? Mark Arthur C. Phillips, he says, I believe even in other countries, retail sales are down because of growth of online shopping. Well, let's stay on online shopping for a bit. You're not purchasing things you'd get at a service station like gas online. I'm not quite sure you're purchasing liquor or alcohol online. I'm just not quite sure. As far as clothing, yeah. As far as electronics, maybe, yeah. But then you must ask yourself, let's put it there. So I get something on Amazon for $7.99 that I need to do this show. I leave it in the US and while I'm in Bermuda, I need it. And I go to a store in Bermuda and the same thing is $24.99. Now I could sit back, Mark, and say, well, why is this more than double the price? Or I can understand that, you know what? They had to pay for it a different price because of volume. They probably had to pay versus in the Amazon, probably pay it 5 cents for it. They probably had to pay $5 for it, right? Then they probably had to ship it at shipping costs. And then the labor cost in the Bermuda versus Amazon, right? It's just a big difference. So I had to be understanding to say, no, the cost of doing business is a bit more. Online shopping is here to stay. That we've got to accept that. But we have to convince the shopper, the consumer, the customer, that their best option is to shop locally because, hey, if you need a return, you don't have to go through these steps. You can simply just come to our establishment. You have to sell them the benefits of service rather than just the good, if that makes sense. What's the solution to Bermuda's retail slump? Charles H. Jefferson II. The obvious solution is more people, residents and visitors. And I think that's what kind of Maya said before we came on. Like, I mean, it's that simple. It's that simple. I mean, it's not funny, but it's quite interesting that a report like this can come out of the Ministry of Economy and Labor. But every couple months, it seems like the minister of that same ministry is telling us that Bermuda's in good shape or heading in the right direction. Something's not adding up, right? Something doesn't seem right. But I will say, the answer could be as easy as Charles is saying. The answer simply could be Bermuda needs more people. We had people. We scared them away. And guess who followed them? Many Bermudians who had options elsewhere. Many Bermudians who took advantage of options elsewhere. Many Bermudians who felt that they were not getting out of life what they wanted or desired in Bermuda, who decided to leave. I don't know, folks. This report in the Royal Gazette, it doesn't read well. We have to address it. It's not a good read. It's not good on the eye. Now, I want to just say at the end of this same article, it does say that for declaration of goods from overseas increased 2.2% in April 2022 and 51.1% from 2019. Imports via Korea decreased $200,000 to $14.3 million from April 2022, but imports by households via sea rose 500,000 to 8.7 million. Declarations made by returning residents at the airport increased 200,000 to 4.6 million. Imports via the Bermuda Post Office increased 100,000 to 500,000. Excluding Sundays, there were 24 shopping days in April 2023, one fewer than in April 2022. So those are some additional facts that was shared in this document. So again, the question for your audience is, what's the solution to Bermuda's retail slump? What do you think we can do to arrest this? How do we stop this? How do we fix this? How do we encourage more people? Knowing what we're up against. A lot of you on that tune into the show travel. Are you traveling for experiences? Are you traveling to shop? When you do shop, do you even think, well, I can get this in Bermuda, even though it may be cheaper where you are? But how do we solve this? How do we ensure that Bermuda is going to be okay economically? Because slumping retail sales means more shops may close. It means people may lose jobs because more shops are closing. It means less taxes into the system. And if the government's getting less taxes because more businesses are closing and less people are in the workforce, guess what that means? The businesses that remain and the people who stay employed, their taxes are going to likely have to go up to replace what's missing. Think about it. Just think about it. Retail sales need to improve in order for us not to have an increase in things like taxes and have to pay more. And the less options and choices that you actually have doesn't make life any easier. Charles H. Jefferson II says, I also think we need to revisit the burden placed on retailers by looking at charging them a tax on sales and not on imports. Okay. Interesting, Charles. Tax on sales, not on imports. I like that because paying the tax before you've actually been able to sell the good is a burden. Something that many of us probably don't even think about or consider. Let us know your thoughts. Let's bring Maya Palacio in for the Daily Hour news break. And we have a really interesting guest coming up today. I like this story. He's been in the Royal Gazette recently, created a product made in Bermuda that is being sold beyond Bermuda. So, folks, if you or someone you know is an entrepreneur aspiring to grow your business, this is a conversation you need to be a part of. Vladmir Focke will be with us in a bit after your news break with Maya Palacio.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, MP. How you doing?
Good. I'm just trying to listen into the topic of conversation, and an idea that popped in my head about what's the solution of Bermuda retail slump, or maybe a reasoning is maybe people are focused more on traveling. You brought up traveling, and I'm just like, maybe people just have a desire to travel more than they do to, let's say, shop locally now that, everything's opened up and things are different. Just an idea.
People attend. I think I read a survey some years ago when I was in tourism. Well, I still am in tourism, where people have a desire for experiences over things now. There was a study done, and that would pretty much answer what you just said. Like travel is, to experience many things in retail are considered things, right? So
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you had a solution, I think I'd go with Charles. And like I said, you kind of touched on it before we came on. I think the solution to many of Bermuda's problems is attracting more people to the island, really starting with those who left.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game, right?
It is. And we know those people obviously lived in the island at one point. So just figuring out, why did they leave and what will bring them back.
Indeed. How are we looking today in the news break?
Well, some good stories this morning. So earlier we're going to start talking about the Bermuda Public Service Union hosted their 31st annual Education Award ceremony and presented 12 recipients with awards. A spokesperson said on Monday, under the leadership of the president, Bro Armel Thomas, General Secretary Bro Kevin Grant, and the Educational Commissioner Chair Sis Lauren Bell, and the Bermuda Public Service Union hosted its 31st annual Education Award. Reflecting the BPS's ongoing commitment to supporting education opportunities for members and their dependents, the union granted 12 award annual, including 6 local online award valued at $1,500 each and 6 overseas awards valued at $3,500 each.
Congratulations. And I think the president of the BPSU, Armel Thomas, will be on next week, if I'm not mistaken. But I say this because these scholarships are not, I don't consider them private, right? I think public scholarships have helped so many people who would not have been able to get through school and just complete their academic studies. So I am so grateful when I see these stories, and I'm thankful that these organizations exist to give people an opportunity to complete their studies.
I agree. And I actually had a conversation last week too with a friend just talking about like scholarships and the amount and what in 2023 actually makes sense versus I don't know, doesn't. I mean, for me, I'm like any money I'm happy with, whatever the amount. Like a little bit goes a long way. That's maybe your cell phone bill, that's maybe something that you don't have to think about anymore, or your light bill, depending if you're off campus, like things like that really matter. Little bit goes a long way, especially when you add them up. But it was an interesting conversation about like, should people just be giving the huge amounts? But I think spreading it out is vital as well. But that's just another type of conversation. But it's an interesting discussion. So next up on the news this morning, you would have heard us talking about it early on, but the volume index decreased 4.1%. As Jamal was talking about some of the stats here, they are on the screen so you can see just like the graphics about what the volume has gone up and decreased at. You'll see on the second graph there when Jamal was talking about liquor, it was definitely 6.2% a decrease there and a 2.2% decrease in volume and value. You'll see other areas like apparel did go up a bit, but still not as high as it was prior to. And this is just a sheet so you guys can like see visually just what we're talking about this morning.
I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. And you know how I speak about alcohol, but it's really, that tells me that we have less people in Bermuda. Traditionally, I mean, you just don't, when retail is down, alcohol sales always seem to be up. So that's just very interesting to me. Yeah,
I agree. I recall like talking about that before on some statistics with this, and alcohol seemed to be the only thing that was like steady or had actually risen during that time. So it's
or maybe the positive is that, I mean, and depends on who you are, positive, but more people have sought alternatives. Like, are they including non-alcoholic beverages, like a non-alcoholic Heineken? You know what I'm saying? So maybe people are still purchasing from them. Just consider. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's an option too. People could decrease their need or want with alcohol too, as well. So that can also be a positive. Yeah, to spin.
Yeah.
Next up in the news, last week, the acting Premier Walter Urbane recognized the Royal Bermuda Regiment Recruiting and Career Management Team as recipients of the July Public Service Excellence Award. You may remember that they try to have this monthly where the government does award or recognize an individual or group of people in Bermuda public service. So the team comprising of Sergeant Demir Armstrong, Lance Corporal Zaire Quana Bean, and Private Nicholas Roach. Together, they are recognized for their outstanding support in promoting the various opportunities available within the Royal Bermuda Regiment as part of an ambitious recruiting plan to inspire more residents to join the service. The team's diligence has resulted in attracting a second class recruit of 2023, including both men and women, as well as Bermudians and non-Bermudian residents.
Congratulations.
Coming up next in more of your news, Belco added to the BPSS family as the latest signature learning partner. So this is probably some more news that we haven't really heard come through for education in a while. But basically, here's the team so you guys can see. But basically, they say, or the Minister of Education says, as we prepare for the second year of signature learning in Bermuda public school system, what better way to celebrate than to welcome Belco as the BPSS family as yet another signature learning program. Belco joins Coombe Consulting, Bermuda Zoological Society, Bermuda Institute of Ocean Science, Bermuda Underwater Exploration Institute, KPNG, and the Association of Bermuda International Companies as having signed a memorandum of understanding committing their support to the signature learning program at Cedar Bridge Academy and the Berkeley Institute. The MOE sets out that as Bermuda's sole supplier of electricity, Belco is committed to working to support and develop of young Bermudians that can sustain and provide provision of safe, reliable, and cost-effective electricity generation, transmission, and distribution of utility services to the wider community of Bermuda. Belco President Wayne Kane spoke, and also Lisa De Silva from the Education Reform Unit said that the signature learning partnership like this one with Belco will help young Bermudians better understand different career paths available to them and better prepare them for further education and accelerated progress towards employment.
I mean, I heard everything you said, but who's the white lady in the picture? Yeah?
Let me.
Anybody know who she is? Because I know
it may have been. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Looking at there was no names for each person in that picture individually, but I can check to see if it was the person Lisa De Silva.
No, that's not Lisa.
Okay.
So no, I know that's the principal of Cedar Bridge, Mr. Caesar. I know that's the of Berkeley, Ms. Douglas. That's the minister. And I didn't see a name on the social media post. I wonder if that is the lady from Belco, Shelley Lehman. But anyway, all that to say, good work. I think it's a positive thing. Just would have loved to identify who that was, and they didn't have it on their social media posts.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yep, this is just another thing added to education reform and the learning progress. So, because we got to keep updated on that one. I haven't seen any new reports, so that was one for a long time.
I was going to ask you. I'm like, well, what's the latest on that? You know, it went cold, huh?
It did go a little bit cold, so we'll find out what's happening there, especially when it comes to the schools specifically in the primary division, and see what happens. Because I know there was a bit of demands that were made on behalf of one of the groups, and no response just yet. I know they said they're going to plan a meeting after the Cup match holiday. Cup match holiday has ended, and haven't heard an update from that since.
Okay. All right.
I'll do my due diligence and follow up.
We appreciate you.
So in your sports coming up this morning, some really great news for the Bermuda Under-14 Challenger. But Bermuda won Group B in the Girls Under-14 Challenge. Bermuda came from behind for a second match in a row, this time avenging a previous defeat to Bonaire. You would have heard me mention that on the other day's news with a 3-1 victory in the Caribbean Football Union Girls Under-14 Challenge Series in Antigua, going down 1-0. Then Prior Denbrook equalized before the half as the team went to break level at 1-1. Bermuda was awarded a penalty midway through the second half, and Azai Burrows put the ball away. Burrows would later get an insurance goal for Bermuda as the win, seeing Bermuda top the Tier 2 Group B with 9 points. Bermuda has advanced to the semifinals.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Nah, props to them. We've got some teams doing a thing, the cricket, the other football teams this summer. So these are some positive things going on. And thank you, Maya, for always including the sports in with these stories that we are able to celebrate and honor and just show love to the people who are representing Bermuda on a regular basis, it seems.
Yeah, and remember when I first mentioned this team, the coach said, it's probably one of the first international games together. So, they wanted to see how the ladies played together, how, cohesive they were, and for them to come out on top of their group.
Mhm.
That's really great progress. That's amazing stuff to see so early on for the under 14 girls team in Bermuda. So expecting really big things for them in the future, and congratulations to them and good luck to them as they advance to the semifinals.
Indeed.
Looking at the weather today, it's going to look like clouds and showers, but decreasing in the afternoon. Thankfully, a lot of windy periods as well. We have a high of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And again, just a warning about hurricane season and getting yourself prepared, everyone.
Yeah, don't forget that. Well, Maya, you know what today is?
Don't say it's like a history day or something.
No, it's it's cheap flight day, Maya.
Oh, is it?
Cheap flight day, yeah.
And
And
they're hiking up the prices for cheap flight day.
you tell me about it, right? So here's the history of cheap flight day, folks. Cheap flight seems to be have been established in 2015 through the cravings of those folk who were watching for low prices on air travel. While every airline is not exactly the same, the idea is that the end of summer, back to school season, indicates the time when companies will drop their prices on airfare. The theory is that since the demand drops, so do the prices. Actually, I had never thought of that, Maya.
The
Yeah.
demand drops instead of the prices. I would have thought they would have hiked up prices in more areas where they know it's more populated for university students.
No, but everyone's back to school now. So, but
No one's traveling.
while they're in school, they
Yeah.
want to be traveling. So, how do you celebrate cheap flight day? Well, you score the internet for cheap flights and set up low price flight alerts. But Maya, you tell them what you did for us last month or month before.
What do you mean?
Didn't you tell us to go incognito?
Oh, yeah. Those are my tricks. I always go incognito to a new window, and then I always look on Tuesdays, because Tuesdays seem to be the lowest days. But there's a lot of TikTok advice out there. So, I also do the whole Google alert thing for cheap flights and see, where I want to go, and every single day I get a notification if it's going up or down.
All right. So, audience, let us know in the comments. If you could get a cheap flight today, where would you travel to? Maya, where would you go if you could get a cheap flight today?
If I get a cheap flight today, I think I would. Two places. I'd either go Costa Rica to visit my cousin, or Nicaragua to finally see my father's home. My family is there.
I love it. If I could get a cheap flight today, I'd finally go back to Africa. It's been 7 years, so I would go back, and I would probably want to visit Ghana. I feel like I'm the only person that hasn't been at this point. And then after Ghana, I'd love to visit Kenya. So if I could purchase a cheap flight today, it would be one of those two African countries. Karen Simmons, she says Europe. Marcia says the Mediterranean. Colita Davis says the Maldives. Keep them coming, folks. Let us know. Maya's got some nice destinations, and I like how she connected family with that. Costa Rica and Nicaragua. Did I pronounce it right? Nicaragua,
but it's good.
I can't roll the tongue, man. I try to learn
Then
Spanish.
Nicaragua.
I'm gonna stick with what I know. Maya, thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right, Maya Palacio, folks. Do not go anywhere. We've got a great entrepreneur coming up. Vladmir Focke coming up. We're discussing his business. It's going to be real cool. Do not go anywhere. Keep letting us know where you would travel to if you got a cheap ticket today, folks. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, and Lindo's, as well as People's Pharmacy. Don't forget to subscribe on our website and follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. Before we went to break, we asked, it's cheap flight day. What's the destination you would travel to if you could get a cheap flight? Sean DeShield says Capri. I believe that's in Italy. Laverne Tucker says Barcelona. Been there, beautiful place. Emily Gildo, I love this. She says Charlotte to see my daughter. She said it's currently $2,000. That's a direct flight to Charlotte from Bermuda. $2,000. My goodness. Gee. And that's like basic economy. Wow. Nicole Walker said, those are my two picks too. I said Ghana and Kenya. Yeah, there you go. Ghana and Kenya. There we go. Janet Maynard says, would love to go to Africa. Always Africa. Africa every day for me. Sherilyn Johnson says Morocco and Egypt. I'm not going to call out like I do Traveling Trotty, but, Traveling Trotty, these traveling groups, they be just going places and telling people after the fact, like, hey, look what I did, showing off. But nah, those sound like some exciting places, folks. And I hope that we all are able to find these cheap flights so that we can experience what we want to do. Without further ado, let's bring our guest for the day. We've got a rising entrepreneur, Vladmir Focke, coming on, and we're discussing his products and his business. Give him a warm TDH welcome, audience. All right. First time. How you doing, good brother?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. I got to ask you, before we even jump into the conversation or learn anything about you and your business, if you could get a cheap flight today, where would you go?
I'm thinking probably Korea or another flight back to Canada.
Okay.
South Korea, yeah.
Okay. I was glad you put South before that.
Yeah, I'm not an extreme traveler, yeah.
Yeah, you know what you meant, but no, that's interesting. So you've been to South Korea before?
No, but obviously the industry I'm in, beauty, over in the East, they're like at the forefront of it. So definitely looking, I'm giving away a bit of our secrets, but definitely looking to get over there anyway, just to see the market and see that industry, and see people that are at the forefront over that side of the world.
Nice. Well, we've had some interesting destinations today. Folks, please share this conversation. Send it to your friends, your family. This is a very interesting conversation we're about to have. And as we start, Vladmir, just tell us a bit about yourself and your background.
Okay, so for me, my introduction into business per se would happen right after high school. So after high school at 18, I wanted to get into real estate. So I did self-study and passed my real estate agent's exam. And due to some unforeseen circumstances, I wasn't able to sit the interviews that I wanted to get into that industry. And I was given an opportunity at ER Fisheries. So I was there probably 3 months after open. They opened November 2019. I was there from January 2020. And then I got the opportunity through other circumstances to kind of run day-to-day operations with one other employee and get to see the growth of that business. And I always enjoyed business throughout school. It was always a subject that was very easy for me to get into and get involved with and understand. So for me, being able to apply some knowledge and having the ability to do that made me fall in love with entrepreneurship and growing a business in that sense. And then shortly after, by the end of 2020, with my current wife, our daughter was going to be born in Canada. So I left and did that. And being in Canada, I saw that kind of sparked the Canada connection for business. And then after that, I just went. I started with this company with my best friend Andrew Hay.
So I want to stop because I want to get there, but your story is interesting. I think I absolutely love that you said, you know, from high school you were always into business, and at such a young age you were you know, able to have an opportunity with ER Fishers and Foods and kind of manage day-to-day operations. Those are the kind of things that I think, I mean, I too had that opportunity in Trial and Communications, where they said, hey, okay, you're going to be this. And I had honestly no experience in something. And what I love about this story you just told is so many people read job descriptions and they're looking for people with 5 years experience, this and that, knowing that you're pretty much excluding many young people. So I'm glad that your start was simply from someone giving you an opportunity and giving you a chance. Now let's speak to us. You were just getting into your business partner. Speak about, you know, your business, Natural Like Net. How did it come about, and a bit about your partnership?
Okay, so for Natural Like Nat, the products that we're making, they're variations of products that we've been making for 10 years for family and friends, and basically people around us. So we got into it. My mother, she looked into a lot of products in the store, and she's very into health. So she was seeing what was in these products and just not really happy with that. And if she didn't want to put toxins into our body, she didn't want us to put toxins on our body. So she started formulating her own products, and she always told me, you know, if you wanna melt it into a business and continue to elevate it and elevate these products to a commercial level, then, you know, I'll let you do it. But at that age, I was, again, 10 years ago, I was, you know, just coming out of middle school into S1. So for me, I had a lot of other interests, investing, a whole bunch of things. So I wasn't focused, and I wish I was looking back that I did get into it earlier, but, you know, everything happens for a reason. So basically with her formulating this, it gave us kind of the push, like I said, 2 years ago, looking to get into something we were familiar with and thought that it would add good value. And then we decided to get into it. But yeah, and like I said, being my best friend through all of our investing, business ideas, talks, endeavors, life talks, that was the individual that was there with me, Andrew Hay. So we decided just to work on this together, and that's how it came about. And as it pertains to the business itself, like our values and everything, for us, it's really just providing quality organic skincare products. So for us, we believe that if we have a focus on health, beauty follows. Because if you look in the world, most of the time, if something's healthy, it also looks good. That doesn't apply for everything, but if something is of good health, you can almost see it. So we believe in providing the health benefits through our ingredients and our formulated products, and that will show on the beauty side of the skincare, and it will show itself through there. So that's kind of our vision.
And what makes your products, your beauty products, so different from others that are similar on the market?
It's definitely the quality of ingredients. So I always encourage people to look at the ingredients on products and really Google them. You'll be surprised how many products you Google that are prolific in the sense of being shown all the time, and in the top 2 or 3 ingredients in products, local and abroad, that you'll find that says high risk of potential cancer and stuff like that. But again, for Bermuda, the one thing about the market here is it's not regulated for health. So we made sure our products were up to Canada standards so that we could legally put these things, the terms organic and things on our product. So as it pertains to Bermuda per se, you may have products that, since they don't have to go through that regulatory process, they're using ingredients that you'll find that say could be cancerous or could cause this or that. But people really aren't just going to look at that. And for us, that was the main focus, is our ingredients. You can feel the difference, the quality of your skin, the way it feels, the way it looks after prolonged use. Is what sets us apart, and that's what I encourage people to always do, is to put a focus on the ingredients of these products because they're going on your skin and they will seep into your skin.
Very interesting about standards in Canada versus Bermuda. Let's speak to that. How did you guys manage to get your products in stores in Canada?
My business partner, Andrew Hay, he just graduated university in Halifax. My wife, her family is in Halifax. So we had that Canada connection already. So for us, when we formulated the business as an individual in business, you obviously don't want to spread yourself too thin. You don't want to be focused on too many different markets. And that's the beauty of us having two brands. So he was able to focus a lot on Canada, even though we brainstormed everything together, made decisions together. But him physically being located over there allowed him to have tunnel vision focus on that aspect of the business while I focused on the Bermuda side. But again, we always collaborated, but as it pertained to foot movement, he was there, I was here. So that allowed us, that was a strategic advantage that I'm not going to sit here and say that I have the code for individuals that are solely located in Bermuda with no connections to any foreign country, how they can skip into that country. We were just blessed to have one of, obviously, my partner being located out there. So it made it a lot easier. And again, from a business perspective, when you're looking at reach for your products, you're looking at how can I move volume? You want to look at the options that you have for your revenue streams. So for us, Canada was a big one because Canada's population, 30 million. So even if we cornered the market in Bermuda, 1% of the pie of Canada is probably 300% of Bermuda's population. You know what I mean? So for us, it was kind of it took no thought to say, let's try to maneuver the operation around both of these places, especially having the split manpower.
Indeed, man. I'm loving this conversation. Folks, if you haven't already, please share this conversation. This is, to me, one of the most motivational. If you have an idea, you know someone who has an idea, let's be honest, and this is not to be disrespectful. In Bermuda, when comparatively speaking, we're in a fishbowl. And I think what he's doing or done is jumped out of that bowl into the ocean. And we don't see many people in Bermuda doing this. I know there's Gainete, there's Perry, who have done some great things, and there's many others, but it's not something that happens normal. So I'm just going to say congratulations many times over on that move, and understanding that for business to grow, you have to go beyond your environment. Folks,
Thank
if you
you.
have any questions or comments for Vladmir, please send them through. We'll get through as many as possible. I'm stuck, and I'm not going to dwell on it, but beauty products, it always seems like it's a women-dominated thing. We've had many women, actually all women on, that have spoken about their skin care products and the like. How is it being in, we often speak to women about being in men-dominated fields. How does it feel being in what some would consider a women's dominated space, which is beauty?
So for us, I feel like that's something that we haven't even put thought into. I think I don't want to speak for women, obviously, but I feel like some women that I have spoken to that are in, like you said, male-dominated industries, one of the things that the mindset that they have is that they don't even put themselves in the mind frame that they're at a disadvantage in the first place, or that they're in an industry that's male-dominated. They believe that that they themselves are a serious player and that they have the ability to compete on equal footing. So I think for us, we've never felt that we are in a certain industry, or that obviously it is women dominated, but that isn't something that we've even thought about. We've just always thought about our mission, our goal, what we want to provide to people locally and abroad, and that's been our focus. So when you have blinders on and you're worrying about your race, you don't have time to worry about the competition and in some regards as to what they're doing or how they're affecting you. You can only control the circumstances surrounding yourself. So I think that's kind of the mindset that my partner and I have had. So it isn't something that we felt per se.
Love it. Let's speak about products. Obviously, you've grown fast outside of Bermuda. where can people find products in Bermuda? Find your products locally.
Okay, so for Bermuda, people can reach out to us through all of our social medias. So that's Instagram and Facebook right now at Natural Like Nat. So right now that's the way they can contact us, message us through there, and place an order. Right now we're looking. I do have a trip to Canada at the end of this month, but once we return, we are in talks with a few stores locally to place our products there. So we're looking to get that done because for me, my mindset is when it comes to a product like this, hygiene product, a product that you would normally buy as you go retail shopping in Bermuda. So I didn't want to set it up for too long where you have to reach out to us. I think it's just way more convenient for individuals to go about their normal Saturday or Wednesday shopping routine and to see the product right in front of them and to say, let me give it a try. So for us, our focus is solely to get into the stores per se. So for us, that is the goal. So for right this moment, you can reach out to us. We'll also be at Harbor Nights if they aren't canceled tonight and next week. And then, like I said, once I return, we're in talks with stores to get placed there, and then we'll be broadcasting that.
Okay. And you did kind of say your goal is to get into stores, but what's your overall goal for Natural Like Nat? And what's the plan to get there?
So for us, the overall goal, we have so many right now. I'm in our R&D room right now where we test out new products and we tweak recipes and things of that nature. So for us, it's really about, we have an extensive product line behind the scenes as to what we've released. Obviously, as it pertains to soap, we have scents, but again, they're going to be implemented with only organic essential oils, no synthetic scents, and basically just expanding our product line, moving into different forms of skincare aside from soap. And we just look to encompass those growth factors and to basically push forward with that locally and abroad. And not to say not including Bermuda, but we have a very serious plan to do major growth abroad that we think will benefit Bermuda. So basically getting it to the wider market and continuing to also have it here. So we're looking to simultaneously have a product that's gaining great popularity abroad and then still having it available locally in the same quality as it is going to be abroad, and having new implementations and models of our products being released even locally first. So the way we see it, having a company that is vast and covering North America on Amazon, on all these different channels, but the first iterations of new products are being released locally in Bermuda. So it'll be almost like a gem, just having our products released here first, and then they're going and touching a market where we may already have millions of shoppers. So that's kind of our vision for growth. And then, like I had mentioned earlier, moving over the sea, over to the east, we're also looking over there in those places. So that's kind of our plan.
All right, Maya Palacio, she has a question. Bermuda is known for red tape. What type of certification did you need to sell your line in Canada? Talk about the process to sell it. Is it easier?
Oh, it's definitely harder. So for Canada, you have to go through several bureaus, the government, border control, Health Canada. They're for Bermuda, I think we're known for red tape for other instances, but as it pertains to products, I've seen products on our shelves that don't even have ingredients lists. They only have a sticker with the branding on front, and these are in pharmacies. You would never find that abroad, So I think Bermuda is known for red tape for many areas, but as it pertains to products like this, there really has been none. But for Canada, it's definitely a lot more difficult. It's a lot more intensive. But you can find all the relevant information online through the Canada government website, and kind of just following those pathways, and you'll be able to get there. But like I said, we did have a bit of an advantage having an individual out there. But if I have to retrace the steps, if we didn't, there would still be a possibility following that framework.
Interesting. And final question from the audience, Maya Palacio asking, do you have your line with you? Can we see it? Do you have something on hand?
Okay, yeah, I can I can go grab something.
Maya, look what you made him do. You're making him go get something.
Grab something.
But hey, you know what? Nothing like people seeing the actual product, right, Maya? Nothing like people seeing the actual product. Maya will do that to you, folks. She will put you on the spot.
Okay, yeah, it's not a problem. So these aren't final package, but this is our packaging.
Okay.
So yeah, these are our ingredients list, and how we have everything listed. So again, everything is up to the standards necessary for abroad, and yeah, that's the general look. We do have a facial bar that's in a rectangular box, but the branding and everything is all the same.
All right. And before you go, let me just ask, what advice would you give to Bermudians who'd like to grow their business or concept beyond Bermuda?
I would say just to do a bunch of research and to not be discouraged at bumps. I think all entrepreneurs say that there are speed bumps and to not be discouraged, but we've been working behind the scenes for over 2 years to get to this point, with shipping delays, with everything like that, forms taking months to be approved. It's a lot of work, but just stick to it. And yeah, just do the research. There's always going to be a way. You just have to find it. It may not be your first way. It may not be your second way. But I think business is the art of problem solving. So if you go into it with that mentality, I don't think you'll struggle, but you won't be discouraged. And to just, like I said, continue to push forward with it.
Indeed. And Karen Simmons, before you had she says, thank you for sharing the product. And I noticed the packaging is also sustainable. Well, I did see the recycled thing logo on back, and I was like, our good friends at KBB would be proud and happy for that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
And even just to interject, even the plastic that we use to wrap the soap itself is biodegradable plastic. So we've thought about everything down to the packaging for sticking within our brand of just natural and organic. And yeah, so even if you purchase and you do see plastic, you can recycle it, and it is biodegradable.
Hey man, this has been an awesome conversation. Thank you so much for trusting us, and please keep us filled in. Let us know when it's going to be available in stores in Bermuda. And
yeah,
thank you, and all the best to you and your partner, and hey, much growth to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and we really appreciate it.
All right, have a great one. Vladmir Focke, folks, please give him a thumbs up, a love, a like. Please make sure you share that conversation with your friends, your family. If that conversation didn't inspire you, I don't know what will. That was an amazing conversation with an amazing young man, with an amazing vision, goals, business partner. I'm telling you, entrepreneurship's not easy. It's not. But when you do the research, when you do the necessary work required, it can be so rewarding. So give us a thumbs up, a love, like. Please share it. Share that conversation. This is a local product. He did something almost like they skipped the step. They didn't start to sell it. They went overseas first. That's big. I look forward to Bermudians enjoying that product. Please don't go anywhere. Someone's going to win a prize today because we have a question for you for the Daily Play since Maya ditched us. So stick with us. We'll be right back with today's Daily Play after these messages.
If you haven't been to ER Fisheries in a while, it's time to hop in the car, drive east, and come check out what we have to offer. ER Fisheries and Foods is a Bermuda-based food company that sells a variety of food products to local customers. We are, of course, known for high-quality food items, including specialty meats and seafood, but we offer so much more. We have evolved from a small community-driven ordering window to a modern freezer front with easily accessible products. Our newly revamped store offers customers a top-tier shopping experience, and we also offer delivery. Regardless of your preferences or diet, we have something for everyone, including chicken, many varieties of seafood, pork, lamb, beef, plant-based items, fruit and veggies, bread, dairy, and grocery items. So come check us out for your specialty grocery needs. ER Fisheries is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. at 134 Marginal Wharf, Southside St. David's.
All right. Thanks again to Vladmir Focke for the conversation. Natural Light Net. Check them out, folks. Please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like if you appreciated that conversation, the information, the discussion this morning. Thanks again to the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring we can have these conversations with you on a daily basis. It is time for the Daily Play. Brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Audience, let me know. Are you ready for today's question? It's music today. Let me know. Are you ready? Let's pull it out. I have the question for you. The first person to answer correctly will get themselves a $25 gift voucher to a sponsor of their choice. All right, here we go. What does Boys to Men want you to do after you close your eyes and make a wish? No one knows the answer to that? Oh, okay, NTS got it. Blow out the candle light. Real R&B person, man. Yeah, it's close your eyes, make a wish, and blow out the candle light. NTS, please send us an email to engage@thedailyhour.com. You will get a $25 voucher to a sponsor of your choice. Takia Tucker got it as well as Stacey Ann Brown. She got it as well. It was not relaxed. All right, so real quick change in plans for tomorrow. We will actually have the new coach of the Bermuda men's national football team on, Michael Finlay. So the BFA, he'll be coming on tomorrow. So I know we had something else in the lineup from BDC, but there is a late change in plans. We will have the new coach of the Bermuda men's national football team coming on tomorrow. It is time for the ER fish. Well, let me wrap it up for today, right? Folks, retail sales. My only thing to us is we have a role to play when it comes to retail sales, but it's not on us. Bermuda needs more people. The solution to many of our problems is population. If we can get people to return and if we can attract new people, I think our lives would be a lot easier. It's time for the Daily Inspiration brought to you by ER Fisheries and Foods. Good one here. Spoke to an entrepreneur today, and this was one of the great Black entrepreneurs, Booker T. Washington. Quote, "The world cares very little what you or I know, but it does care a great deal about what you or I do." Folks, please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and great day. I'm out. If I can find the outro. Here we go.